Men over 50, allow me to pose a question to you. What if I shared that there's one particular area on your body, when handled properly, can deliver a surge of new blood to your most private regions, revive sensation, and assist you in rising each morning with the vigor you possessed 2 decades prior? It's not located on the shaft. It's not a muscle you work out at the gym, and the majority of men have never even considered it. However, across my 10 years practicing as a urologist, I've witnessed this straightforward routine, performed using a familiar natural oil, restore assurance and capability in manners that genuinely astonish my patients. Today, I'm set to disclose precisely where that area lies, why it holds such potency, and how you might begin incorporating it this very evening to organically bolster your erections without relying on pills or intricate devices. By the conclusion of this video, you'll grasp why castor oil serves as such a potent partner for circulation, nerve responsiveness, and hormonal equilibrium. You'll further discover precisely where to place it, the frequency of use, and the potential shifts you could observe in the weeks ahead. So kindly remain with me, as these specifics are truly essential. Prior to revealing the precise location and the technique for administering the castor oil, we must first comprehend what's truly occurring within the male physiology beyond age 50. You see, an erection isn't merely a moment of excitement or a basic bodily response. It stands as one of the most intricate processes your body can generate. It demands flawless synchronization among your brain, your hormonal network, your web of responsive nerves, and an exact reaction from your vascular system. Should even a single one of these components lag or grow less effective, the whole sequence can seem diminished, slower, or less dependable. Over time, the blood vessels feeding your erectile tissue may forfeit some of their inherent elasticity. They grow less capable of expanding fully to permit that vital influx of blood required for rigidity. Once that blood does reach, it can prove tougher to retain it confined within the erectile compartments. Simultaneously, your testosterone concentrations, the hormones driving not only libido, but also tissue wellness, might start to diminish incrementally. This subtle transition can affect your vitality, your disposition, and the core robustness of your erections. Yet another alteration that frequently slips under the radar involves the minute nerve terminals that transmit pleasure signals from the penis to the brain. Across the years, these nerve terminals can shed some of their acuity, so that the identical contact or stimulus which formerly ignited a robust reaction might now register as subdued. And let's not overlook the pelvic floor muscles. Those profound, frequently ignored muscles functioning like a securing device to hold blood within the penis after it's arrived. As years advance, these muscles can diminish in strength, and when they weaken, erections become prone to waning prior to your preference. Now, this marks the juncture where numerous men commence to surrender optimism. They presume this gradual downturn is merely an inevitable facet of growing older, that no intervention exists to reverse it. From extensive experience with patients, I assure you this is categorically untrue. The body, even beyond 50, retains profound potential for rejuvenation if provided the appropriate form of encouragement, attention, and setting. When you address the correct elements, the muscles, the blood vessels, the nerves, you can reinvigorate energy in fashions that nearly resemble rewinding time. And this is precisely where castor oil emerges as such an unexpected and potent instrument. It's not some enchanted elixir, yet when positioned at the optimal site in the optimal manner, it can foster circulation, rouse inactive nerve terminals, and aid in reshaping the pelvic zone for firmer, more reliable erections. In merely a moment, I'll demonstrate precisely how to employ it. Castor oil isn't simply any commonplace oil you could discover in your kitchen or bathroom storage. It possesses a distinctly singular makeup, the foremost component of which is a natural substance known as ricinoleic acid. This substance is what endows castor oil with its extraordinary therapeutic attributes. It functions as a natural anti-inflammatory, easing irritation embedded deeply in tissues and pacifying zones that could be constricted, strained, or under pressure. It further aids blood flow by assisting blood vessels to loosen and dilate, permitting greater oxygen-laden blood to circulate where required. And perhaps equally vital, it promotes the lymphatic system, your body's inherent detoxification team, to operate with greater efficiency. eliminating accumulated toxins and residues that might hinder recovery and diminish tissue vigor. These attributes explain why, for centuries, castor oil packs have featured in conventional healing practices spanning various traditions. Individuals would place them on the abdomen to invigorate lethargic organs such as the liver, on achy joints to alleviate discomfort, or on the skin to accelerate mending from wounds. The oil's profound, infiltrating quality rendered it a preferred solution for issues demanding beyond superficial intervention. When directing attention to male sexual wellness, the true enchantment of castor oil resides in that identical capacity to permeate deeply into tissues. It doesn't merely linger atop the skin. It traverses the strata, accessing regions abundant in blood vessels and nerve terminals. When positioned above critical areas that affect erectile performance, castor oil can assist muscles in relinquishing prolonged tension, enhance the patency of blood vessels, and convey fresh, sustaining blood to the erectile tissues. It's likewise remarkably proficient at sustaining those fragile nerve terminals that may have grown less reactive with advancing years. Envision it as softly reviving a conduit that has lain dormant excessively long. This revitalized nerve engagement can translate to heightened sensitivity, more instinctive arousal, and a more robust mind-body linkage amid closeness. Numerous men who experiment with this approach articulate the outcome using strikingly analogous phrasing. They term it a soft reawakening, or a subdued toggle flipping back to active. They perceive a faint warmth, agreeable plenitude, or even a prickling in regions untouched by such sensations in years. This isn't regarding coercing the body, but regarding cultivating the ideal setting for it to recall its peak performance. And when this profoundly influential oil pairs with the particular placement site I'm on the verge of unveiling, the outcomes can prove astonishingly robust. Not through abrupt, synthetic means, but via a gradual, organic reemergence of capability that aligns precisely with how your body ought to operate. So precisely where ought this be positioned? The concealed area isn't truly on the shaft proper, as many could presume. It is the perineum, that yielding, mildly muscular zone situated between the scrotum and the anus. Though it may not appear in evident selection, this compact region actually constitutes a primary junction for several of the paramount structures governing erections. Underneath this dermal layer rests the bulbospongiosus muscle, which operates nearly like an innate vice, aiding to confine blood within the penis and sustain rigidity. Traversing this territory are likewise branches of the pudendal nerve, which convey the essential arousal and sensory signals to and from the brain. Adjacent to these nerves lie arteries furnishing fresh oxygen-saturated blood straight to the erectile tissue. In essence, this isn't merely a swath of skin. It serves as a command center for sexual efficacy. When you position castor oil at this site, you're achieving far beyond mere surface hydration. You're channeling its profound infiltrating qualities directly into the heart of your pelvic floor. The oil prompts those muscles to yield and discharge tension, permitting blood vessels to broaden and supply a more robust circulation. It further sustains and arouses the nerve conduits that might have lingered lethargic or subdued for years. This synergy of muscle easing, enhanced vascular delivery, and nerve reinvigoration forges the ideal milieu for firmer, more steadfast erections. From my observations, this holds particular promise for men observing a progressive diminishment. Maybe their dawn erections lack prior solidity, or they encounter premature softening amid closeness. By zeroing in on this site, you're tackling multiple foundational elements simultaneously, instead of solely superficial indicators. Here's the proper method to execute it for optimal returns. Start by confirming the region is cleansed and utterly dry. This guarantees the oil can permeate profoundly absent any dermal obstruction. Measure out a teaspoon of pure cold-pressed castor oil. And I must emphasize the criticality of selecting a premium, unrefined variant, as this preserves every natural element uncompromised. Gently heat the oil either by gradually kneading it between your fingers and palms or by immersing the teaspoon in a modest bowl of warm water for several minutes. You're seeking not intense warmth, merely sufficient to render it soothingly temperate upon skin contact. With the oil prepared, assume a relaxed posture permitting effortless access to the perineum via deliberate, resolute yet tender motions. Commence kneading the oil into that region. Your objective is to apply pressure sufficiently to sense the subjacent muscle, yet sans inducing unease. Picture yourself enticing the tissue to relax, unfold, and embrace the sustenance. Permit your fingers to trace compact, consistent loops or soft glides, encompassing the full expanse between the scrotum and the anus. Dedicate at least 2 to 3 minutes here, extended if feasible. This concerns not haste. It regards affording your body ample duration to react. The more deliberate and leisurely your contact, the greater the easing of muscles and blood vessels in this vicinity. Countless men discover that attuning to their respiration during this prolonged inhalation, extended exhalation, facilitates even deeper tension dispersal and invites the body to embrace the feeling. For an extra enhancement post-massage, apply a heated compress or a warmed, folded cloth submerged in hot water atop the region for roughly 15 minutes. The duo of warmth and oil yields a more intense tissue infiltration and amplifies circulation substantially. You could sense a soft warmth diffusing through your pelvic domain. This signals escalating blood flow. I suggest integrating this as a serene, concluding daily ceremony. Performing it at dusk when your body initiates relaxation lets the tissues remain unfurled and persist in imbibing the oil through the night uninterrupted. Through consistent repetition, this unassuming protocol can evolve into a subdued, renewing custom that bolsters not solely your private wellness, but your broader perception of equilibrium. Certain men inform me they detect understated alterations in as little as a few days. Conceivably a mild warmth, a faint prickling feel, or a sensation of heightened vivacity in the pelvic zone. For some, the enhancements accrue more gradually, typically requiring 2 to 4 weeks of steady use prior to discerning evident markers such as enhanced dawn rigidity or the capacity to sustain an erection with greater assurance amid closeness. Each physiology reacts on its own timeline, and that's entirely typical. What merits retention is that this isn't a rapid synthetic surge akin to a tablet. Rather, it's a progression of softly recalibrating your body, reshaping your tissues, and reinstating the innate frameworks that underpin sound operation. En route, you might encounter some unanticipated ancillary gains. Numerous men convey a heightened ease in the pelvic floor, as though tension unbeknownst to them had been liberated. Others note reduced rigidity or constriction in the lumbar region. Given the intimate linkages among muscles and nerves here, occasionally, men observe ameliorated urinary regulation. They manage bladder retention with greater facility and endure fewer nocturnal lavatory visits. This holds no happenstance. The identical nerves and muscular ensembles that facilitate erection attainment and sustenance also contribute directly to bladder vitality. Naturally, castor oil yields superior outcomes when underpinned by salubrious everyday practices that sustain your circulation and equilibrate your hormones. Prioritize ample hydration daily to ensure your blood circulates unbound and your tissues remain succulent and reactive. Incorporate abundant leafy greens and beets into your repasts to organically elevate nitric oxide, a substance that aids blood vessels in widening and conveying amplified oxygen to every segment of your form, encompassing your most personal locales. Opt for victuals replete with salubrious lipids like salmon, walnuts, and extra virgin olive oil, which furnish the foundations for robust testosterone concentrations and pliant vascular linings. Beyond nutrition, ponder incorporating mild pelvic floor drills into your weekly agenda. Kegels, executed accurately, can fortify precisely the muscles that secure blood within the penis, rendering your erections not merely more solid, but also more enduring. Even brief daily sessions can yield perceptible progress across time, and ultimately, never undervalue your psyche's influence on your sexual wellness. Anxiety, concern, and perpetual strain inundate the body with hormones that constrict blood vessels and suppress libido. Allocating daily intervals for respite isn't an extravagance, it's imperative. Be it through profound respiration, a leisurely dusk promenade, pre-bedtime limbering, or merely reclining tranquilly in your preferred seat, these respites assist your body in transitioning to a mode where closeness resumes feeling innate and gratifying. When you merge castor oil therapy with these bolstering practices, you forge the consummate setting for enduring, substantive transformation. Castor oil is typically secure for topical application, yet it's vital to select a pristine, cold-pressed iteration to ensure you're acquiring its full innate virtues, sans extraneous chemicals or refinement that might abrade the skin. Shun its use on abraded, inflamed, or sensitized skin, as this might provoke unease and impede mending. Should you ever confront acute pelvic discomfort, abrupt or inscrutable shifts in erectile capability, or additional anomalous indicators, kindly consult your physician expeditiously to exclude any latent ailments necessitating intervention. If you're ingesting remedies for hypertension, cardiac afflictions, or sundry vascular matters, it's prudent to apprise your healthcare provider prior to introducing any novel protocol, even an innate one such as this. Your physician can steer you toward ensuring this regimen integrates securely with your existing therapeutic scheme. Recall, the aim here transcends mere enhancement, but enhancement in a fashion that nurtures your comprehensive vitality for years onward. So to every gentleman viewing, I urge you to retain this. Your physique possesses far greater malleability than you may credit. Even post-50, it holds the prowess to react, mend, and reclaim fortitude in ways that can veritably astound you. Through apt tending, apt prompting, and apt customs, you can rekindle that flicker you deemed extinguished irrevocably and relish closeness that conveys assurance, innateness, and satiation. Experiment with this uncomplicated castor oil method steadfastly and bestow upon your body the sustenance it craves, both externally and internally. Underpin it with nourishing sustenance, sound hydration, and quotidian respites. And perchance, you'll uncover yourself witnessing evolutions surpassing your anticipations. Shun hastening the progression. Have faith in it. And should this discourse have proven useful or uplifting, kindly abstain from hoarding it. Disseminate it to a cherished one who might reap its advantages. You never can foresee the magnitude of impact a modest nugget of insight can exert upon another's existence. This is Dr. Sophia Carter, extending wishes for wellness, vigor, and assurance across life's every phase. My gratitude for devoting this interval with me, and I anticipate our reunion in the forthcoming video. Until that juncture, tend to yourself, heed your body's cues, and ceaselessly affirm its potency to rehabilitate and revitalize.